I, Anthony Colosso, your host for the day. I welcome each one of you for the DSIMS MMS Graduation Ceremony 2020. I request everyone to join their hands while the Saraswati Vandana is being played. Thank you, everyone. I now request Sri Ashokji Saraf, Chairman DSIMS, to declare the MMS Graduation Ceremony 2020 open.
I declare DSIMS MMS Graduation Ceremony 2020 open.
Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. Sarita Vichore, Director DSGS, to welcome the students for DSIMS MMS Graduation Ceremony 2020.
Thank you, Professor Anthony. A very good morning and a very warm welcome to all to the degree distribution ceremony of MMS class of 2020. On behalf of DSIMS and DSGS, I welcome our chief guest, Mr. Anil Sarvi, Managing Director and Group Head HR JM Financial Group, Chairman of DSIMS DSGS and President RSET, Shri Ashokji Saraf, Honorable Secretary RSET, Shri Kailashji Kejriwal, Dr. Babu, Director DSIMS, members of the Trust, Chairpersons of MMS Program, Dr. Shailja Badra and Professor Priyanka Oza, my colleagues, staff members, parents and guardians, and my dear graduating class of 1820. Very delighted to have you all for the virtual degree distribution ceremony. Dear graduating class, first and foremost, congratulations for achieving your goal of a degree in management from the prestigious Mumbai University and one of the top ranked institutes, DSIMS. Allow me to be one of many to salute you for all of your amazing academic accomplishments. You are a trailblazer, a champion, and a scholar ready to apply your acquired knowledge to enhance and advance this world we live in. The world we assume would welcome graduates with open arms has changed in ways we could have never imagined or adequately prepared for. But as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. quotes, intelligence plus character, that is the true goal of education. Build a strong character by practicing integrity, gratitude, and empathy. Success is always driven by a character. After all, resilient businesses are built by strong characters. And as Benjamin Franklin has said, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. DSIMS believes in holistic education, the education which is cross-functional as well as adaptive to the frequent challenges that a manager faces in his professional life. You will definitely remember your MIM sessions, the manager in meeting sessions, the mock interviews, the research-based projects, etc., which prepared you for the VUCA world, the volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. Here, we stand with a resilient group of professionals who delivered quality education and developed the professional individual amongst each one of you, who is ready to take the world by storm, even in challenging times of COVID. Fly high and remember, as a professional, you never stop learning and there is no alternative to hard work. I welcome you to the virtual degree distribution ceremony and wish you all the best to pursue a highly rewarding and deeply satisfying careers as business leaders. Congratulations one more time to the MMS badge of 1820. Thank you. Over to you, Professor Anthony.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to introduce Sri Ashokji Saraf. Sri Ashokji M. Saraf is the Managing Director of Sarex Group of Companies, one of the leading companies in the field of chemicals, having business interests in India and several other continents. Born in 1956, Sri Ashokji is a commerce graduate and a diploma in finance management from Mumbai University. He also holds a diploma in business management from IMC Mumbai. An alumnus of Jamnabai Nursery School, one of the leading schools in Mumbai, Sri Ashokji holds keen interest in the field of education. He is the president and trustee of Rajasthani Sammelan Education Trust, a leading name in the field of education. Under his able leadership, Mr. Saraf, along with his committed and passionate team of office bearers and managing committee members, has engineered the growth of RSCT from a single school to 14 educational institutions, imparting educations to over 16,000 students from KG to PG. Mr. Ashok Saraf is also on the advisory committee of Jamnabai Nursery School, one of the leading ICSE schools in Mumbai, a member of the governing council of Dr. Balabhai Nanavati Hospital, which is the second largest private hospital in Mumbai, and treasurer of Tarapur Environment Protection Society. Mr. Ashok Saraf hails from a very illustrious family. His father, Mahavir Prasadji Saraf, is a leading industrialist well known for his philanthropy and charitable work. Mr. Mahavir Prasadji Saraf holds the distinction of contributing largest number of benches in the city of Mumbai and has been featured in the Limca Book of Records. Mr. Mahavir Prasadji was also nominated by Mumbai Mirror as one of Mumbai's heroes for his charity, selfless service, and philanthropy. A distinguishing characteristic of Mr. Saraf is his extraordinary emphasis on perfection and his deep-rooted passion for education. In a short span, under his leadership, some of the institutions have won accolades and awards for excellence in education and also established international collaborations with universities of repute. It's a pleasure to have you, sir. Now I request Sri Ashokji Saraf to address the August gathering. So over to you.
Good morning, everyone, and a warm welcome to everyone at this degree distribution ceremony 2020 batch of 1820. Our special thanks to our chief guest, Mr. Anil Salvi, for taking out time and being here with us for this degree distribution ceremony. I also welcome the trustees and managing committees members of Rajasthani Sammelan who have joined the webinar, staff members, faculty members, and students. In this today's changing world, we are forced to have a virtual degree distribution ceremony when we would have liked otherwise to physically hand out certificates and wear gowns and photographs. But we are in an era where these things are not going to be possible. In spite of the constraints which are there, DSIMS staff members and faculty members have strived hard to impart education to students as well as to hold this ceremony live with on a webinar with a lot of effort, and I'm sure that you people, students, will miss this, but this is the best we can do at this point of time. DSIMS is an institution set up by the magnanimous donation by my father in the name of my grandmother. And it is the vision of my father, Shri Mahavir Prasad ji, to make it a leading institution, not only in the city of Mumbai, but in our country also. Details about DSIMS will be given to you more by Dr. Babu during his address. But I would like to mention to you that DSIMS is a part of Rajasthani Sammelan Educational Trust, a 71-year-old trust having 4 schools, 4 degree colleges, 2 management schools, and 2 hostels and a sports academy. My message to you students is that just as we remember things like before the World War, after the World War, we will remember the COVID period as before COVID and after COVID. We have to learn to continue to work. We have to learn to continue to strive with whatever is available. And after COVID is over, which it is going to be over, because I always believe that after a night, there is always day. The night may be longer, the light may be tougher, but it is nature's being that after every night there is a day, and we have to survive the night. So once we get over this COVID period, we will have better times. And during these better times, we'll have to embrace new technologies and new ways of working. And if you are able to embrace those new ways of working, you will go ahead. I would like to congratulate all the students who have got their degree. And I would like to tell them today that it is a very important day in your life. And we all look towards you young students to go out in the world and bring name and fame, not only to your family, to your parents, to your institution, to your country also. Because you are the future of our nation. And it is you students who will take our country ahead and make all citizens of India proud. I always say in all the convocations, and I would like to repeat, students, you should on this day and even otherwise thank your parents for giving you an opportunity to get this education and this degree certificate. Had it not been for your parents, their blessings, their financial support, their love and affection, their vision, you would not have been able to get this degree certificate. So always be grateful to your parents. You may have different views with your parents because they may be older and a different era they have lived, but understand that they are going to be for all your lifetime your best well-wishers. One of the things that you should know or you should do is, as Dr. Sarita also mentioned, follow good ethics. Ethics are very important. Do not take shortcuts in life. While we want to grow, while we want to achieve, we have to always realize that good ethics, good principles, honesty will take us in the long run. And honesty, if you follow, you will succeed much better in the long run. So please be honest and work hard. Do not be scared of failures. Failures are a part of life. There is not a single individual who can say that I have never failed. Failures are lessons which we have to learn. And from those failures, we should, from every failure, we should decide that I'm not going to make the same mistake again. That itself will make you stronger and will take you further. Always have a positive attitude, because a positive attitude will take you further. It is how you look at things. Always be optimistic and positive. It will take you further. I once again thank our chief guest for coming here today, and once again wish all students congratulations and all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. for your words that continue to encourage and guide us. Now I request Dr. C. Babu, Director DSIMS, to present the Director's report.
Thank you, Professor Anthony. Our chief guest, Mr. Anil Salvi, our chairman, Sri Ashok ji, our honorable secretary, Sri Kailash Kejriwal ji, our trustees, my co-director, Dr. Sarita Vichore, the chairperson of MMS, Professor Priyanka, and Dr. Shalja Batra, the chairpersons of PGDM, the HODs, my faculty colleagues, other invited guests, the volunteers, and most importantly, the joyous students who are celebrating the memorable day today, the graduating students. It gives me immense pleasure to present this director's report. May I request Manish to help me? Well, my dear students, we have a limited brain capacity. We cannot remember everything. But one thing I can tell you, today, days like this, the distribution ceremony, you all are going to remember, and this is going to live with you for long. This is the lovely group of students, your colleagues, and I'm going to show you a few snaps towards the beginning and towards the end, just to give you a glimpse. Next, please. Yeah, these all you know better than us. We also, as a faculty, we lived with you literally for 2 years, and we thoroughly enjoyed. These are some of the memories. Next, please. All students who participated, you all know how enthusiastic and what amount of energy you pumped in during these days. Apart from the classes, we could see a lot of energy, but outside the classes, we could see energy and enthusiasm abundant. Next, please. Yeah, these are some of the occasions where we faculty members also come to know the talent, the multi-talented students. That also helps us to relate. So these are some of the memories. Yeah, next, please. Well, so just to keep it short, dear students, and dear alumni, today onwards you are our alumni. Any good organization or good institute should first teach how to live up during such pandemic period, and the institute has to practice. DSIMS is no different. We lived, we believed, and we did exceedingly well during this pandemic. Just a snapshot, the pandemic crippled, as you know, but it never stopped us from moving ahead, including the admission. We have never stopped. Next, please. Yeah, and our objective was crystal clear. Our mission was never interrupted. That is why you could see that particular image. It was never ever interrupted, even during this global pandemic. Next, please. Well, so year was different in many ways. This year, we have split our institutes into two. PGDM is looked after by Dr. Sarita Vichore, and MMS, as usual, I look after. Next, please. Next, please. Well, these all some of the memorable occasions we will always cherish. Even during this pandemic, in the year 2021, that is the current year, your institute has been ranked 5th in Mumbai. That is something considerably good. We considered it's one of the best milestones. My dear students, our institute promised you that we would move up as you move up in your ladder, and you would always cherish to know that your institute is doing extremely well. We got a couple of other awards. Just before this pandemic, we got the annual conference award wherein innovative institute, and we were also conferred for leadership and innovation award in 2020. Next, please. Well, this is again the most awaited achievement. Dr. Sarita and Dr. Sarika Jain, they become PhD guides. What does it mean? That means your institute is going to become a PhD center. And let me also tell you, there are more professors, they are going to become PhD guides very soon. I think that's going to happen. So your institute is going to become a PhD center soon. The work has been started. Begin. Next, please. Well, some of the usual business. What was our emphasis? Our emphasis was adopting students, staff, faculty. I would rather say that we are trying, we are successful, and we are living with that, as our chairman mentioned. And remote interaction with the industry. Our industry interaction never took a back seat. We kept on interacting with the industry. In fact, our robust, the corporate relationship department is working quite well. Participation of students and faculty in development programs are plenty. Nothing stopped. You can see at top boot camps, special engagement programs, conclaves, mentoring, everything are performed online. Nothing stopped. Next, please. Well, our response to pandemic, the challenge was adaptability. We have managed, and as I said, the orientation programs, conclaves, faculty development programs, all that we did successfully. Remember, you also had your own online classes. You were lucky. You had most of your classes in person. Only towards the end, you had to convert. In that sense, we are also lucky that we interacted very closely with you. Next, please. Well, just a comparison. Classes quickly, when this pandemic started, from 6th April 2020 onwards, the classes started. Nothing stopped. Faculty meeting. Earlier we used to have in-person meeting. Now we have got online meeting. We used to have in-person meeting weekly. Now, at times we used to have 2 meetings on a week. So therefore nothing stopped. And we had a faculty retreat. During in campus we had in 2019, but in 2020 we had on 8th and 9th of May 2020, capstone project as usual, and capstone project Viva as usual. Next, please. Well, summer internship, you are the one who went through it, so nothing stopped. Everything was usual. Boot camp, special engagement program, mock interviews, and student exchange program, which I'll come in detail a little later. That's again we consider as our milestone. Next, please. Well, this is our normal process, be it during the usual time or during the pandemic time. Nothing stopped. The entire process is continuous. Yes, next, please. Well, the students are the one, you made this whole thing live and memorable. I think, we like to thank all of you for this. Because of you, because of your effort, you also made us feel that nothing unusual, everything usual. See, look at the finance club, a marketing club, HR club, operation club. The concerned faculty, mentors and guides, they only acted as mentors. But you students, you are the one made all these clubs vibrant, and you made it happen in spite of this pandemic period. Next, please. These all some of the memories and some of the activities. Faculty training, we had a lot of faculty training program. Our board of studies, nothing stopped, it happened. Conclaves, like I said, be it finance or HR or operation or marketing, everything happened with so many people, and including the international conference, which I'll talk to you a little later. Next, please. Yeah, post-budget, you all know the budget. Immediately after budget, we have pre-budget and post-budget. This time we had both, and we had Mr. Sailesh Haribhakti as our keynote speaker. International conference, that was something remarkable this year. We had a number of international professors participating in our international conference. In normal time, in in-person time, we couldn't have more than one international professor, but this time we have got international professors from US, from Germany, and from a couple of other countries. So that is something remarkable, and it is an advantage. Entrepreneurship activities, that again happened online, and also we organized a couple of entrepreneurship events, as you see here, HEF Entrepreneurship Day. Next, please. Well, this is something I like to highlight. Coursera. This pandemic, during pandemic, our librarian and her team, they acted very well. Students came to us asking us to facilitate different courses. And you wouldn't believe, more than 1,000 courses were taken by our students and they have completed. I think this is a remarkable milestone, I would say. Our students, having taken 1,000+ courses from one of the best or few of the best online, portals, that is remarkable. Our faculty members attended 20+ seminars, webinars, and workshops. Still we are attending, and guest lectures, nothing stopped back. And our audit of NAC has been done. We conducted many FDPs, as I mentioned. Next, please. Well, this is something, a new development that happened with DSIMS. We aligned. We, in fact, we had a venture with HBS, Harvard Business School, and then our students did some of the courses, business analytics and entrepreneurship particularly. 10 of our students have completed this course. This is a remarkable course, prestigious course, plus 5 of our faculty members also conducted, have completed this course. Next. Yeah, faculty development program. Generally, on normal courses, we conduct about 5 to 6 courses. This time, we conducted 15 faculty development programs. This is something, I like to emphasize. And these are the topics mentioned here. These all conducted by your own faculty members, your own DSIMers and DSGS faculty members. They conducted and attended by our own faculty members. Next, please. Well, I think there is no dearth of international publications. Dr. Nehal Joshipura, Dr. Sarika, Dr. Sumana Chaudhary, Dr. Sharath Kumar, Dr. Sanjita. They have done tremendous work on their respective area research. Next, please. And plus many other faculty members also published. CSR activity that is led by Dr. Sarika. This time, the CSR activities were more than the normal because the affected parties were many. So we had these many activities: auto sheet for new normal, fundraising, and then Sayog for social responsibility. I'd like to thank each and every faculty member involved, and particularly I like to thank the students. If not without your effort and your time, the CSR would not have been completed as effectively as it happened. I like to thank you all for that. Next, please. Well, library, I mentioned, we have done so many activities, some of the glimpses. I don't want to go in detail. Next, please. Well, this is what I mentioned. I'm going to talk about this. This is again a milestone for DSIMers and DSGS. You all know, including MMS, we take you and we give you international exposure and experience. This is the first time in DSIMers and DSGS, history, 2 of our students attended complete course, 3 months on a student exchange program. We have Rishabh, we have Chaitanya. They attended 3-month program, and these are the courses they attended: managing people and organization, understanding the business context, and marketing strategy. And let me tell you, they both got wonderful feedback. I got personally wonderful feedback from Alba Graduate Business School. This is based in Athens, Greece. At the same time, this is an American business school. So we consider, this is again one of the milestones. Let me congratulate Rishabh and Chaitanya for this. Next, please. Well, you know, I don't want to go in detail. We have signed an MOU with more than 7 universities internationally, be it US, be it Germany, be it Singapore, be it UK, and most of the places where our students and faculty, they visit. Thanks to pandemic, we are, we are online, but I think things are normal, in the new normal, I would rather say. Yeah, next, please. Well, these are some of the places where our students visited. Next, please. Well, this is something particularly I remember, my dear students. I know you have taken how much effort, you MMS, students, you have taken effort to welcome all these delegates from US, and you spend a lot of time. I remember all these 10 days, I and my colleague, we remember all these days, all these 10 days you were with them, you were sharing your thoughts, they were sharing your thoughts, and some of the snapshots, we have. Next, please, Manish. These all some of the memories, and more than me, I'm sure you students would remember these occasions. They thoroughly engaged. They carried all the memories that you built and you handed over when they went for US. I think this is something will last with you for a long, long period. I'm sure, pretty sure. Next, please. Well, these are some of the stars. And I'm very happy to say that most of you are successfully placed. After all, that is what a B school meant for. We give you soft skills, we give you all kinds of skills for you to be successful. Now, I can't name all of them, but I can name definitely a few of them. Aditya Singhania, Rashi Peripherals Private Limited, Agas Tripathi, Rehan Bijapuri, Nitin Verma, Neerav, Ayush, Rupali. In fact, I do remember Deloitte, took you all in bulk, and that was a joyous memory. We all faculty, including Professor Somesh and his team, we celebrated that particular event. And Mehak Jain, Naukri.com, Karishma, MyGate, Jagriti, Krutika, Institutional Shareholder Service Limited, Devang, Rakshanda, Sanmesh, Reliance Retail. I do remember Reliance Retail. They came and so many students applied. And that's again a memory that is with us. Madhura, Mahindra Logistics, Vikram, Harnish, Decathlon Sports. These all some of our star performance, but I'm sure, most of you would enjoy your current job. More than 300 companies visited our campus. That's again, I'd like to particularly thank Professor Somesh and his team and our chairman, Sri Ashokji, for helping us every now and then by introducing his own contacts. Next, please. Well, so this is the, now, as I said, my dear students, alumni network, right? You become alumni, but your relationship is going to be with us for a long, long, long period. Before I end this, let me tell you, I think as our chairman said, in the tough time, your best has to come. You all know the great scientist, Sir Isaac Newton. He was studying at Cambridge University. In year 1665, there was a pandemic. 2-year pandemic, my dear students. 2-year pandemic. He was alone, like you and me. That was the time the best in Sir Isaac Newton came out. He worked out on calculus. He worked out on color. He worked out on gravitation, law of motion, and planetary orbits. And scientists and historians say the best of our scientists came during that particular 2-year. The best of Sir Isaac Newton came during that particular lockdown period. So whether it's lockdown or normal, the best shall remain best. I'm sure the best in you would come. And this is a remarkable day. I wish all of you a great journey from here. And I'm sure you would be successful, my dear students. Enjoy this day. I like to congratulate you and your parents and your well-wishers and your faculty members for making you successful. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for the report and the kind words. And we hope that the students will definitely give their best. We are fortunate to have with us today an eminent personality, Mr. Anil Salvi, Managing Director and Group Head, HR, JM Financial Group. Mr. Salvi holds a bachelor's degree in economics and has completed his master's degree in human resources from Bombay University in 1990. He possesses experience of over 3 decades, of which 2 decades he has been part of the banking and financial services industry. He is currently Managing Director and Group Head, Human Resource, JM Financial Group, and additionally, he is also the CEO of real estate consultancy business of the firm. the new independent business with profit and loss responsibility that he took over effective 2017. The business since has been outperforming the plan and budget on all critical parameters. Prior to joining JM Financial Group, Mr. Salvi was leading human resource function at Royal Bank of Scotland in India in the capacity of Senior Vice President and Head HR. He was part of the HR integration team after the global buyout of ABN AMRO Bank by Royal Bank of Scotland and was a key resource in change management and integration of Indian banking operations of ABN with RBS. He later played a critical role in restructuring the bank and also successfully led the HR due diligence team while director of Indian operations of RBS Bank India. He was also the vice president of human resource at Deutsche Bank. In Deutsche Bank, besides leading HR functions for wholesale banking, transaction banking, and global markets, he helped setting up wealth management, asset management, and global outsourcing centers for Deutsche Bank. He led the HR functions for these businesses successfully. During his tenure, Deutsche Bank in India went major change as several new businesses and offshore facility was incorporated and existing businesses were rebuilt. Now, I request Shri Ashokji Saraf to kindly present a bouquet to Mr. Anil Salvi. I now invite Mr. Anil Salvi to share his thoughts.
Thank you so very much for the invite today. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you so very much. Respected Chairman, Mr. Saraf, secretaries, the trustees of the Rajasthani Mandal, director, the co-director, and honorable faculty members of DSIMS. Thank you so very much for the opportunity today. It indeed is a pleasure to be participating in this momentous occasion of being part of your. I was told that we don't call it convocation, but essentially a degree distribution ceremony. I see it as a representative of the corporate world. Here to welcome all the students who are essentially leaving the academic world behind and stepping into the corporate world. So I'm here to extend a warm welcome. So that's the kind of a role that I'm going to play today. So thank you once again for the opportunity that has been bestowed upon me. I don't know whether by design you've chosen today's day. Today's day is 24th of April. I'm sure students here in particular would be aware today is Sachin Tendulkar's birthday. He completes 48 years today. And in his address, Chairman talked about the failures and the successes as a part of life. And at that point in time, I realized and I thought about Sachin Tendulkar, and I said, I must quote him. I think we all know Sachin Tendulkar for the 100 international test centuries which he has scored, and one of the most successful cricket icon that the whole of the cricket in its history has seen. While he scored 100 centuries, I'm not too sure how many of you would be knowing how many innings that he's played. Just to quote you, he has played about 200 test matches to score about 50 odd centuries. So 200 test matches would mean about 400 innings, right? And for another the one-day centuries that he has scored, close to again 50. He's played some 470 odd or 468 or 69 kind of innings or matches to score that. So what does that mean? About 900 innings and about 100 centuries, right? Around 10-12% success rate of scoring centuries. And the point is, even if you get close to that kind of a ratio, you would be mighty successful, right? I think the most successful people are known for their successes, for the kind of tenacity that they show and demonstrate, the kind of stickiness that they demonstrate, and the trick is staying on the field, not giving up and trying and trying and trying and trying and again to ensure that success. So there's one lesson. The first lesson to you is demonstrate all the tenacity possible, and demonstrate the kind of consistency which you need to demonstrate while being in the corporate world. That's what we expect from each one of you. And this kind of an example, if you see and extend it to the Magic Johnson, the basketball player, so he probably would have a worst ratio in terms of attempted balls to get into the net, and then he would also see a sub kind of a 10% success ratio, but he is again considered as a Magic Johnson. So I think the ability of staying the course, ability to demonstrate the tenacity, ability to demonstrate success even after limited failure is something which would be expected out of you. So I think this was my opening remarks, and then that essentially came to my mind when Mr. Saraf spoke about the success and the failure of people and how do you deal with it. I think whenever you fail a seeker, think about the failure. Think about Sachin Tendulkar. I think he would have failed many more times than how many times that he would have been successful, right? So I think you are getting into a very interesting kind of phase, right? And when I see as a student, I would assume that you have had a very structured and a defined what you'd call the evaluation process, in the sense you score a kind of marks or grades. You are deemed to be successful. I think you're getting into the corporate world where your success is not going to be structured. At least it will not be measured in a structured manner, because the business world is extremely dynamic. In our life, as when we were student, the curriculum didn't change, right? It was well defined. The course was well laid out, and we were supposed to stay the course and essentially demonstrate the kind of hard work, and we would be successful. So it was very predictable. When you enter into the corporate world, the businesses themselves are extremely dynamic. Take case in point the pandemic. I think and then you need to demonstrate an extreme agility and a different kind of skill sets which you need to basically engage and employ. And there are no stock, or there is no structured kind of rule book by which will define your success. I think one would need to chart his own way and then find a right way and approach which will befit your personality. Right, you can't adopt something else which you'll struggle with, and ensure that success, right? And see, while I was coming, and Dr. Babu said that I need to do and share my thoughts for 20 minutes or so. I think I thought, what am I going to share? And I thought about a particular case study. By the way, I saw that some of you have done courses from HBS. So congratulations. I also saw, by the way, a name of Shailesh Haribhakti. And if somebody like Shailesh Haribhakti has come and given and shared his view with the students, I think I can tell you are one of the most fortunate, because I've shared a lot of time with him, and as he was on board of some of the companies of GEM Financial till last year. See, he is one of the most knowledgeable, most eminent person that can come and share his view. From probably the students would not appreciate or understand the kind of experience and weightage that he brings to you, but when you actually go outside in the industry, his views are extremely valuable. And then congratulations to the campus to have some eminent people like Mr. Hari Bhakti to come and talk to the students. So while coming back to the HBS, I had come across a HBS case study. And this particular case study talks about two students who incidentally are passing out from Harvard Business School, and they are entering into a same consulting company. And both of them kind of have an chat and kind of get into a bet with each other that they would in first 6 months outperform each other. So both of them are equally well qualified, equally doing or similarly doing well in academics in the HBS, and basically when they are actually joining this particular company, consulting company, they make a plan in terms of how they are going to be successful in this organization. The point I'm making is, and when I'm going to share this case study, I hope that you guys also have made a strategy and a plan in terms of how you're going to settle in the company that you're going to join. I'm going to share with you a case in point, the particular case study. So the credit is to this particular case study. And I'm going to read it from that particular case study in terms of what are the kind of pointers that they used for defining their strategy when they actually are going to join the firm and adopt it. Incidentally, the case study, being case study, I think both of them have a very different kind of an approach, and then we'll talk about it, right? So broadly, the categories in which they defined their strategy was like under so category one was breadth and depth of knowledge, right? So so this gentleman A, he thought that I'm going to be working on wide area of subject, while the other gentleman said that I'm going to work on a focused kind of area and then demonstrate a kind of an expertise that I need to do. On the second category was a self-promotion. So when I joined this new company, the kind of self-promotion that I'll do. So one individual said that I'm going to basically go out of the way in terms of projecting what I've done, while the other individual said I'm not going to do that. I'm sure the work that I do will speak for itself. The third category that they articulated was networking, whether I'm going to go out and actively network. One individual said, and I'm going to attend all the possible parties that the company has. I'm going to get into all the informal kind of initiatives of the organization and try to build a networking. While the other individual said, I'm not going to be doing that much. I will be selective in terms of the kind of people that I'm going to spend time with, etc., etc. There's again one beat called extra work, right? In an organization, we always do and then do something which is beyond what you're supposed to do. So while you'll have your objectives, and when you join a new company, they will tell you these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things you are supposed to do. But what is expected from people is also how much they have gone beyond, right? In the sense, there are certain organizational activities which are voluntary in nature, which are not actually part of your we call it KRAs, the key result areas, but I think they have certain values. Then one individual said he is going to do certain extracurricular activities in a particular manner, while the other individual said that I'm going to be very, very selective in terms of what I'm going to pick up. They also said that one individual also said that they have said HBS tie. So this particular new company, I think we need to read it in our context. This company also had Harvard students which were alum who used to work there. About 20% of the staff of this consulting company was from Harvard. So one individual said, I'm not going to be with the Harvard alum in the campus, because people will obviously categorize me as somebody from Harvard, essentially hanging out with Harvard people. But I'm going to spend more time with a non-Harvard population. So both of them had a very different kind of an approach. One said, I'm going to spend time with Harvard people and build a networking with them. The other person said, I'm not going to be spending time with non-Harvard students, but other students, as they are a larger number. So on other categories, they said the first assignment that I will choose would be something which is essentially going to be a big deal assignment, while other person said I'm going to do whatever that comes my way and make a success out of it. There's another category which talked about mentor. One individual said that I'm going to have one mentor who is going to be a significant and a very tall kind of a person in the firm and work with him. And while other person said that I'm going to have at least 3-4 mentors, right? One senior partner, other couple of peers, and then other couple of people in the organization who are opinion leaders. So the point I'm making is there are and what you should think about is the kind of categories that I spoke about, and I hope you made a mental note of the same. I think you as students also need to give a little bit of an attention to these particular categories, because I think these are very, very important segments of work that you need to think about when you enter an organization, right? And this is besides finding about the organization, what works, what doesn't work. Each organization has a cultural fabric, right? I think here they talked about, they particularly discussed the kind of networking that one person will go out of the way and do a lot of networking. Other person will say, I'm going to focus on my work and I'm not going to do much of a networking. I think each organization has its own ethos, its own organization has culture. So I think there is no one stock or one right way of any of the things that I spoke about. I think one needs to be essentially conscious and cautious in terms of how and what we need to do. One is to see what is going to work in that organization. Organization to organization things differ and they change. The expectations of organizations are different. So while these two students have put up a story around how what's going to happen, how they're going to make a success out of their career, I think one important element which needs to be kept in consideration is what is the expectation of the organization, what are the kind of a cultural bearing the organization has, and the kind of the value system the organization follows. If the organization expects, or if it's a very, very what you call extrovert kind of an organization, obviously networking is what is expected out of you, or you would be seen as somebody who is not the kind of person or typical kind of person. Doesn't mean that you'll not be successful. There are always different kind of people in the organization, and organization wants and needs all type of people with a different kind of skill sets to succeed. And the success of one individual is not a function of one particular thing that an individual is able to do or not able to do, right? There could be it networking, be it extra work, or be it in the kind of skill set that you demonstrate or build. I think your success is not function of one aspect. Your success is a function of overall performance that you are able to demonstrate. That's something which basically you'll have to keep in mind. You'll need to have core competence. You'll need to have all the softer skills. You need to be extremely cautious and conscious. You'll need to build networking. You'll need to learn to work in teams. It's not about you. It's about it's about how your team or your function is able to deliver the results that you are expected to deliver. That's what is going to matter, right? I think it's a whole sum of the kind of a performance that you would end up delivering, and then that would essentially determine how successful you as a person are going to be in that particular organization. Same case study of this Harvard Business School. There's a second part of the case study talked about, and I think the switch off. There's another individual, and he. And suddenly, out of these two people, there's a third person who is referred in this particular. So this person 3, and now he basically actually, it's been his name referred is Steve, and he's another employee who's an older employee who joined earlier, and when he gets into it, his feeling is essentially articulated in this particular case study, and this is again going to be relevant, and that's the reason I'm actually quoting this. Now, the Steve actually goes through his first appraisal, and with the hope that he is going to be rated outstanding, right? As all of us feel that you've done and whatever was expected out of me. So on a 5-point scale, I think I'll be rated as at maybe 4 and 5, and he goes for discussion with his manager. And he actually gets extremely disappointed as his performance is categorized as average. Now this is a typical experience that I have had with a lot of newcomers in the organization, and I've seen some of them getting devastated because the expectation that all of them would have is they have performed what they have been told, and thus they should be categorized as very good performer or outstanding performer on the rating scale. Maybe if a 10-point scale, it is 8 to 8, 9, 10, or 5-pointer scale, they would expect the rating to be 4 or 5. Now, as an organization, if you're told to do certain things and you're delivered, you've done your jobs, you're an average performer, right? When do you become a very good or an outstanding performer? When you outperform on all the parameters, and that's when you become an outstanding. So that's the kind of a gap between what you expect out of the organization and what the organization expects from you. So I'm also going to quote certain feedback that has been essentially given to Steve by his manager, and some of you would have this feedback when you're going to have your first appraisal. So the manager he's made some note for him and in the first appraisal, and then he tells him Steve's work has been good and he has met expectations but has not exceeded it. The second one, Steve has contributed solidly but not stood out in his client or firm building projects. Right? Steve once misstated facts in one key client presentation. At the end of the project, Walsh chose not to hire us for follow-up project. Steve's mistake was only one of the many factors leading for their decision, but it did contribute for the client not to give the repeat business to us. Steve needs to work on being more polished in front of clients. Steve's peer mentor reported that she spent much less time with Steve than her other 3 mentees, right? So I think you don't know, when you are going to be evaluated. While I'm sure he, as a mentee, would have spent some time with the mentor which has been assigned to him, and he would have thought that he spent adequate time. But what one needs to be conscious of is whether the other person with whom he's engaged also feels the same, and feels that this person has spent adequate time and has given adequate attention. So I think one needs to see there are known things which you as newcomer would see, and there are unknown things. You don't know actually when you're joining a new company what are the other factors that are evaluating you, right? And there are unseen, unfelt factors which you would not know. That feedback always goes to your manager in terms of your behavior, in terms of how you approach a kind of a conflict situation, how you have resolved a conflict, how you've contributed in ensuring a client, maybe a meeting or a hand holding that happened positively. These are the some of the things which will keep on going to the management, and I think they play a lot of role in determining your success. So again, a point to be taken, I think you would have a good year, you would have a bad year, and again referring to Mr. Saraf's initial address, where he said that show me a person or there wouldn't be a person who would not have seen failures. I've been in the business, I've been in the corporate world since 1990, so about 31 years. And probably I have failed many more times than I have been successful, right? I think and it's all about learning, but I've managed to stay course. I have most of the firms that I've worked long term. JM Financial is a firm I started almost 11 years ago, so this is my 11th year. All other firms I would have worked more than 5, 6, 7, 8 years, right? In Deutsche Bank about 8, 9 years. RBS that I worked for was for 5 years till the time the bank closed, right? And you would know the famous 2008 financial crisis, the banking crisis, and essentially the banking environment of the world collapsed at that time. So 2008 and 2009 was the most difficult time that the industry would have seen across. The markets fell sharply. I think much more much more difficult time we would have seen in terms of any kind of parameters that you might want to contribute. And incidentally, I still remember 2008, 2009 was again a very, very difficult time for the students who actually passed out. You guys are fortunate. Dr. Babu tells me that most of you are placed. Mind you, 2008, 2009 students, most of them didn't get placed. Most of the IIM students, or for that matter, IIT students, that essentially, were available, and even after the recruitment process, were not able to get a job. But incidentally, all of them have done exceedingly well when we look back. So I think, to the point earlier made, that I think tough times don't last, tough people do. And as personal favorite of mine, I always tell people, water always finds its level. If you're a good performer, if you're a competent guy, you'll always get your due, and you'll always see successful. You'll always see the success that you deserve. So with this, I hope I've not overshot my time. Unfortunately, I'm not able to see the clock here on my iPad, but thank you so very much for the opportunity to welcome you to the corporate world. So as a representative of the corporate world, a warm welcome to all the students to this side of life. It's interesting. You're going to enjoy the story, right? I think give your best, and the organization again in turn will give you the best. We value and all the organizations value the right kind of resources, and that's the reason they are hiring you. They expect a world from you, and I'm sure the organization and career and the job is also world for you. So I think both of us are on the same page. So I think the terms are already defined. I think we are in a win-win kind of a situation, as long as you are willing to give all that you got, and the organization is actually waiting for you to come on board and give the platform to you to make best use of the same, and then deliver the results that they expect you to deliver. I'm sure all of you are going to be successful in your respective career. And I noticed one thing, that you represent different aspects of functions. There are a few students from HR, operations, finance, and there are a few students who are basically in the marketing. Marketing students will be closer to business, but I always say that each one of you, and you take my example. I've been essentially an HR person, but have migrated to business. So 70% of the time I run a business, and about 30% of the time I run HR. But I always realized that even if you're running a business, you need to run HR, right? HR is essentially the policy, and they will give the work. So the HR person is not there who is going to come and run the HR for you. As a business person, the first line of response is going to be yours, even if it is HR. And likewise, the business guy is going to be an operation person, an HR person. And similarly, the operation person and the HR person will have to be a business person. You need to understand the business very well for you to be successful, and for you to be respected by the businesses. And with these few words, I conclude my brief talk. I wish all of you a lot of an abundant success. And in case you need to reach out to me, I'm available, and Dr. Babu can give my coordinates. I'm more than happy to spend time with you and give whatever the guidance that you might need, and help you with your career. Thank you so very much, DSIMS, the faculty, the chairman, the secretary, and the trustees of Rajasthani Mandal. It's been a pleasure today to be here. It would have been great if I would have basically been there physically, but I think probably next time. Looking forward to be in touch with the institute in time to come, and all the very best to all of you. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the invaluable insights, especially highlighting the importance of tenacity and staying the course, and also highlighting the need to understand the challenges and dynamics of the corporate world, and making us realize that there's no guaranteed rule book for success. The use of case study to highlight that every business has its own way and method of doing business, and each organization is unique. There is no single rule book approach. That was a key takeaway. And last but not the least is success is also being aware about the unknown and the unseen circumstances impacting the outcomes, and understanding how you are being evaluated on those. So thank you very much for those insightful words, sir. Uh, Now I request Sri Kailaji Kejriwal to present a memento to Mr. Anil Salve as a token of our appreciation and gratitude. Thank you, sir. And now it is the time for the most awaited moment in a graduating student's life, and that of their respective families. It is indeed a proud moment for the parents, guardians, siblings, relatives, and friends of these dynamic young graduates. They have not only put in their heart and soul, but also their precious time and efforts in shaping these young minds. Today, it's a proud moment for them as well as others when they see the successful transformation of these young management professionals. Please give yourself a big hand. Thank you. Now, we would like to move to the presentation of degree certificates to our MMS students. I request Professor Priyanka Oza, Chairperson, MMS Program, to present the students.
Thank you, Professor Anthony. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great honor to present to you the graduating batch of MMS 2018-20. I would be announcing the names one after the other, starting with the finance specialization first. The first student is Akash Mittal, Akash Tripathi, Aditi Saraf, Aditya Singh, Akanksha Mukawar, Akshay Gupta, Akshay Shah, Aniruddha Malpani, Ayush Maskara, Chintan Parekh, Durga Dhavle, Fenil Maru, Gopikishan Jakhar, Harshi Patel, Isha Kotak, Isha Verma, Ishan Mishra, Jagruti Jaiswal, Janit Gupta, Jigar Rajani, Kalpana Tiwari, Khushali Poddar, Krupali Babaria, Krutika Virdikar, Mahima Shah, Manoj Yadav, Mayank Chaurasya, Mehul Darji, Mohammad Razi Sayyed, Mohit Agarwal, Mohit Joshi, Moin Chunawala, Mustafa Javedwala, Nirav Navadia, Nitin Verma, Prachi Shah, Prakash Sutar, Pranav Saravgi, Priya Kothari, Priyanka Vyas, Radhika Pasari, Rashmi Kalwar, Rehan Bijapuri, Rishabh Kumbhat, Rishabh Lodha, Rohit Yadav, Ruby Agarwal, Rupali Saravgi, Saurabh Agarwal, Shreyash Ranjan, Shriyansh Yadav, Smith Ruparel, Soham Moge, Suraj Ghosh, Vaibhav Punjabi, Varun Achar, Vibha Gupta, Yash Agarwal, Yogesh Sharma. Congratulations to all the finance students who have graduated. Now we move on to the marketing students, starting with Akash Singh, Ayush Joshi, Abhilasha Bohra, Aditya Dhanuka, Aditya Singhania, Akshay Bohra, Amey Shah, Ankit Singh, Atul Mishra, Bhavna Pandey, Chirag Dave, Damini Dharwa, Harnish Parmar, Kanika Singh, Karishma Vadsaria, Khyati Padaya, Mehak Jain, Manish Kumar Yadav, Namrata Gawas, Namrata Singh, Neha Singh, Nilesh Rawat, Pooja Dwivedi, Prashant Maurya, Ragini Hivase, Saili Naik, Shreyas Prabhu, Shubham Verma, Smith Vora, Shrijyoti Anamraj, Tanvi Merai, Vikas Upadhyay, Vikram Mishra, Vishaka Khetan. A very big congratulations to all the marketing students. Now we move on to the next specialization, human resources. The first student is Aditi Mandlik, Asmita Pai, Bhavika Makwana, Charvi Shukla, Nikita Maru, Priyanshi Garg, Rutuja Nimankar, Sanika Mamoria, Shivani Lia, Shivani Pokhriyal, Sneha Latsgaonkar, Shubhanka Chakraborty. Congratulations to all the HR students. We move on to the last specializations, that is operations. The first student is Aniruddha Darvalikar, Balachandar Selvan, Devang Gangapurwala, Madhura Brahmankar, Mayank Jain, Prashant Singh, Rahul Agarwal, Rakshanda Pannase, Sanmesh Patil, and Shashank Hedav. Congratulations, students, and wish you all the best in life. May you shine very well and may you do very well. I request Professor Anthony to continue with the proceedings.
Thank you, Professor Priyanka. Once again, congratulations to all of you. MBA Oath. I now invite Dr. Sarika Jain, Area Chairperson, Human Resources, and Head ISR to administer the MBA Oath. Students, a copy of the oath has been shared with you earlier on a mail. I request all the students who have received their degrees to please repeat the oath after Dr. Sarika Jain.
Good morning, all of you. I once again congratulate all my students, MMS batch 2018-20, on the degree distribution. Now, please repeat after me, since this is a virtual meet. So I would request you from wherever you are, please repeat. As a DSIMS student and now a professional, I promise that I will act with integrity and honesty in discharging my duties and responsibilities in conformance to the highest human values. I will work to create justice, equality, prosperity, and keep a balance between fair competition and professional solidarity. I will conduct myself in an ethical manner and take moral decisions. I will uphold in letter and spirit the laws and contracts governing my enterprise. I will refrain from unfair practices or business practices which are harmful to the society. I, through my behavior, will set an example to the community at large and to my enterprise in specific. This oath I make freely and on my own accord. Thank you so much. And over to you, Professor Anthony.
Thank you, Dr. Sarika. We now move on to the Academic Excellence Awards, which are being given to the MMS batch of 2018-20. I request Dr. Babu to announce the DSIMS Academic Excellence Awards and Achievers Awards.
Thank you, Professor Anthony. I'm very happy to announce the DSIMS Academic Excellence Awards. The MMS Academic Award 2020 for securing highest marks in the area of finance goes to Ms. Rupali Sarawagi. The MMS Academic Award 2020 for securing highest marks in the area of HR goes to Ms. Charvi Shukla. The MMS Academic Award 2020 for securing highest marks in the area of marketing goes to Ms. Abhilasha Bora. The MMS Academic Award 2020 for securing highest marks in the area of operations goes to Mr. Aniruddha Darwalkar. Thank you. Now, I would like to declare the name of the recipient of the prestigious Topper of the Year Award. Ladies and gentlemen, the MMS Academic Award 2020 for securing overall highest marks across all the 4 specialization areas goes to Ms. Charvi Shukla. We are elated to present the Academic Topper of the Year rolling trophy to Ms. Charvi Shukla. Congratulations, Charvi Shukla. I'm very happy to present you the MMS Student of the Year 2020. This award is given to a student who demonstrates exceptional performance in academics, extracurricular, and institutional activities. The Student of the Year Award for MMS Batch 2018-20 goes to Ms. Rupali Sarawagi. We are elated to present the Student of the Year rolling trophy to Ms. Rupali Sarawagi. Congratulations, Rupali. Congratulations to all the winners. I would now request Professor Anthony to continue with the proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations to all the winners. You deserve every bit of it. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite our valedictorian, Ms. Rupali Sarawagi, student of the MMS 2018-20 batch, to deliver the valedictory address.
Thank you, Anthony, sir. Thank you so much. So a very good morning to respected dignitaries, faculty members, and all my fellow batchmates of class 2020. I feel very privileged and it gives me an immense pleasure to be here speaking as a valedictorian. I believe it is safe to say that today we have found ourselves in a rather unique position this year. We are a graduating class that didn't had their farewell ceremony, had their very first online lectures, and we all have daydreamt about this day, our graduating day, with our parents besides us. So many of us are right now thinking that are we the luckiest or the unluckiest? But I must say that we are the luckiest because we were able to enjoy the best 2 years of our life on campus and not online. We were very fortunate that we had our faculty members to support us, to guide us when we need them. We were very fortunate that we were able to work with our seniors as well as with our juniors in person. It is rightly stated that college is more than just a place of learning, right? It's a place where most of us met our closest friends and where we spend majority of our time, literally. My fellow graduates, over the last 2 years, here at DSIMS, we have learned a lot. Not only we had a good share of knowledge, but I think we had learned more valuable lessons of life, like how to build relationships with each other, how to respect each other's differences, how much we need each other to be able to succeed. And all of this knowledge will no doubt be surely valuable. And in fact, it is proving to be very, very valuable in our current jobs right now and will continue to do so in the future. The Institute provided us with various platforms where everyone got a chance to showcase themselves and bring the best out of them, be it the Cultural Fest, Sabrang, or seminars, or the domain-wise conclaves. We were so excited, competitive, and very eager to wait and win for the conclaves and fest. I would say our class 2020 was full of talent, idea, and laughter. Our time here together will not be remembered by the likes, dislikes, popularity, but it will be remembered by our relationships. The small moments that we had. Like from seeing each other's sleepy heads, argue like really kids in our group presentations, the in-between lectures, laughs, giggles, and jokes. Getting too excited for the fest, and yes, how can we miss mid-break jamming sessions? Basically, we were very lucky to have 2 years college life on campus in a very physical mode, in a very traditional mode, and a bit lucky to have given an last online board exam. I owe a big thank you to Sarita ma'am, who is like an inspiration and motivation to me. She helped me through everything, and I couldn't be more confident and encouraged if she was not there. Also, a big thank you to my girl gang, Priyanka, Prachi, and Isha, who never gave up on me and were there through thick and thin. Thanks to all my batchmates from whom I have learned a lot and who made sure that not a single day went by where we hadn't had a chance or a reason to laugh or smile. So grateful and thankful for my parents, without whom I wouldn't be here. Today, on behalf of MMS batch 1820, I would like to sincerely thank Dr. C. Babu, Director DSIMS, Dr. Sarita Vichore, Director DSGS. Heartfelt thanks to our program chairperson, Professor Priyanka Oza. A special thanks to Professor Somesh Banerjee and the placement team for providing us the best opportunity to start our careers with. And thank you to all our faculty members for always pushing us, motivating us, and most importantly, Thank you for sharing with us your love for the subjects you teach. Thank you to the non-teaching staff for all the help and making our work easier and all the smiles that you wear on your faces. Last but not the least, I have realized that we were the most attractive batch ever. For those reasons and 1,000 more reasons, I will always remember you all and the time I spent here at DSIMS with a smile on my face. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you, Rupali. Makes me, think and imagine that had this been a campus, then it would have been really wonderful, wonderful. Thanks for those wonderful words. And as they say, all good things come to an end. But before we go, there are always golden memories to look up to, cheer us, and brighten the way ahead. Presenting to you a snapshot of 2 years of your journey compiled by the Institute and your juniors. A walk down the memory lane.
यादों के पुराने एल्बम में छुपा के रखे हैं हमने वो दिन, गुल्लक में पड़ी चवन्नी सी बचा के रखे हैं हमने वो दिन। ना किसी मंजिल की फिक्र थी, जिंदगी जीने की उम्र थी, दोस्ती और दोस्तों से उधार के दिन थे, वो दिन भी क्या 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 दिन थे। बिगड़े हुए इंसान थे, शैतान की संतान थे, लेकिन ब्रदर जो भी कहो वो यार ही तो जान थे। कॉलेज की कुड़ी से करने आंखें चार के दिन थे, आए जिंदगी में पहले पहले प्यार के दिन थे, वो दिन भी क्या दिन थे, वो दिन भी क्या दिन थे, वो दिन भी क्या दिन थे। खरबूजों की मिली सी संगत के अपने वो दिन, ओ जीवन पे नई जवानी की चढ़ी सी रंगत के अपने वो दिन। याद है फिल्मों के पुराने वो गाने बैंड के, कीबोर्ड के और गिटार के दिन थे, वो दिन भी क्या दिन थे, वो दिन भी क्या दिन थे।
beautiful memories for tomorrow. My dear students, today you have received the degrees for which you have worked so hard. Congratulations to each one of you. And yes, I am happy to tell you that you are now our esteemed alumni. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite Professor Somesh Banerjee, Area Chairperson Operations and Chairperson Placements, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Professor Anthony. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to wish everyone assembled here a very good afternoon. As the convocation ceremony draws to a close, it is my pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks. No event is successful without the unstinted efforts and untiring commitment of the team. On behalf of the entire faculty fraternity of the Institute, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to Sri Ashokji Saraf, President RSET and Chairman DSIMS and DSGS, Sri Kailashi Kejriwal, Honorable Secretary RSET, all the members of the Board of Trustees, and our Chief Guest, Sri Anil Salvi, MD and Group Head, JM Financial Group. During his address, the Chairman told the students that they would always remember the before and after COVID periods going forward in their lives. He advised them to strive with whatever resources they have and to survive the night, because after the night follows the day and they should await the new dawn, which is bound to bring good times. He advised students to embrace new technology because this is one way of dealing with disruption and distortions in our life. He has once again reminded students to be grateful to their parents for the unending sacrifices made by them in ensuring that they complete their education and get this degree. He has told students that they are the future and that they will make the country proud, that good ethics, honesty, and obeying rules and laws and never trying to take shortcuts will ensure that success will follow. He also advised students finally that they should not be afraid of failures, because from failures we learn the lessons for success which will follow. So therefore, it is important always to have a positive attitude and to be optimistic about the future. We then had a very knowledgeable address by Mr. Anil Salvi, who advised students to have tenacity of purpose, to be consistent in their approach, and to have the ability to stay the course. He said that you are entering a very interesting phase in your life, where from a structured, defined, predictable environment, you will be moving into industry, which is a very dynamic, unpredictable, unstructured kind of environment, and you will have to prove yourself in that. He mentioned how students were very fortunate to listen to learned people like Sri Shailesh Haribhakti. He mentioned the importance of understanding that each organization has a specific culture, that one has to find out what works and what doesn't. You have to understand the value system followed by your organization and to demonstrate your skill sets and have the ability to roll with the punches. You have to outperform so that you get noticed. And finally, he said, tough times do not last, tough people do. I would like to thank, going forward, Dr. C. Babu, Director DSIMS, and Dr. Sarita Vichore, Director DSGS, for their continuous guidance and direction, as also all the faculty members for their assistance and support. Before going further, I would specifically like to thank Shri Ashokji Saraf, Dr. Babu, Dr. Sarita Vichore, and all the faculty members for the encouragement that they have always offered to the placement department and to the placement function in this institution. Our thanks are also due to Mr. Vikas Ahuja and Mr. Kamal Bhaktani of the Marcom team for effectively publicizing this event online, and to Mr. Aditya Bagadia of PV Advertisers for rendering timely services in designing the collaterals. I'd like to express our sincere gratitude to the administration department headed by Mr. R.D. Shetty and Ms. Kavita Darji, as also the team members, Mr. Sanjay Gupta, Ms. Parvati Jayaraman, Mr. Radhakrishnan Nair, Ms. Rasmi Sawant, Ms. Shilpa Ghume, and Ms. Kajol Vora. Our thanks are also due to the IT support team, Mr. Ranjit, Mr. Vijay, Mr. Nagesh, and Mr. Milind for connecting all of us digitally. This event could not have been successfully conducted without the untiring efforts of our student volunteers. Our special thanks to Ms. Saloni Jakotia, Mr. Suyog Somani, Mr. Monish Nath, Ms. Shivangi Murarka, Ms. Shreya Kotian, Ms. Shivani Wagle, and Ms. Ria Andhale for the hard work put in by them towards smooth technical coordination of the event today. Our thanks also to Ms. Rupali Sarawagi for the very encouraging comments made by her about the efforts of the placement team in finding suitable placement for the students. Thank you very much, Rupali. Finally, I'd like to thank the organizing committee among the faculty members for having very carefully put together this program. So our thanks to Ms. Priyanka Oza and all the others in her team. May I conclude by reminding the graduating students of the immortal words of the poet Kalidas. Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief span lie all the verities and realities of existence, the bliss of growth, the glory of action, the splendor of beauty. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and over again to Professor Anthony. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the word of thanks. I request Shri Ashokji Saraf to declare the graduation ceremony MMS 2020 closed.
I declare DSIMS MMS graduation ceremony 2020 closed. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That's thank everyone over here. Yeah, ma'am, over to you.
We can log out.
Yes. I request the graduating students to stay back, and others, thank you very much for being a part of this convocation. I thank all the faculty members and all the students for being present at this online platform for the very first time. So thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Dr. Babu, Dr. Sarita, can I leave?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for being there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kejriwal, sir.
Wonderfully done, Priyanka. We'll connect
Thank you,
again.
ma'am.
Now
Yes.
I'm logging out.
Thank
Is it
Yes.
okay?
you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Priyanka.
All of you,
Thank you.
well done.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Priyanka. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, Priyanka, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Priyanka, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye.